Good evening, UPS Teamsters. I'm Sean O'Brien, General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. I speak to you today to all full-time Teamsters working at UPS on an issue of critical importance. UPS has welcomed a dangerous fight to its doorstep, and we need to be prepared, strategized, organized, and unified to take on this fight. We need to be ready and courageous enough to call out UPS for what they are, another greedy, profit-driven corporation. We also need to be informed fully and often. On July 3rd, the Teamsters Union revealed a secret and deceptive plan that United Parcel Service was forging in direct violation of our national agreement. UPS was not ready to roll out this program. They were caught off guard by our attack, and needless to say, UPS was not happy. As you may have started to learn in your barns as soon as today, UPS calls this sham program the Driver Voluntary Severance Plan, or the DVSP. They are also being very deceitful, telling our members that we negotiated this during negotiations. That is not true. It's another lie by UPS. It's another deception to try and buy our jobs. They've also been referring to it as a separation plan, which it is, but not in the way that UPS is masquerading it to be. UPS is not interested in whether you, a full-time Teamster putting in a hard day's work, might decide to retire early or leave the company. UPS desperately wants to separate itself from its legal obligations under our National Master Agreement. As I walk through what UPS is planning, and more importantly, what we have in store for them, I urge you to remember these legal commitments that UPS made to the Teamsters Union. In 2023, the Teamsters fought for and won the most historic and most lucrative contract in our history at UPS. We all know the story. We're all part of this fight, and it never would have happened without the solidarity of all UPS Teamsters and the 176 local unions representing UPS workers nationwide. We extracted $30 billion from this company. We made no concessions, zero, and we got some things done for all our members, including full-timers like yourself and especially part-timers. A total of 60 major changes and improvements to the national contract happened. Full-time drivers would be making nearly $50 an hour before overtime by the end of this agreement. You are the highest paid and the highest skilled delivery and logistic workers anywhere in the United States. You are the envy of employers nationwide. Major companies, including the anti-union FedEx, took a major hit during a pandemic, but not UPS. UPS did very well. UPS made record profits. CEO Carol Tomei has made millions hand over fist. And why did UPS do so well? It's because of you. You embody and continue to the very definition of essential worker. You kept this company moving. You kept this nation moving. You showed up day in and day out, making huge sacrifices for your own health and well-being and the well-being of your families. UPS benefited from your labor and your loyalty. A dependable, hardworking workforce is a precious commodity these days. But as Teamsters, this is what we do. We give our labor, we take pride in our loyalty, but we expect and we demand something in return. We want to get paid well. We want good health care. We want a retirement we can rely on. We want respect. We expect the same loyalty from our employer in return. And we never, ever want to be taken for granted. Well, guess what? Despite winning a hard-fought contract, despite all our sacrifices and loyalty during the pandemic, UPS has decided it wants to sell us out. They think you are for sale. They think that they can wave cash in front of you and you're going to sell their job to them. We are not going to be fooled. UPS wants to sell you out. If you've worked full-time for UPS for 5 years, 10 years, and yes, especially 30 years, UPS is telling you through this new DVSP model program that the company has no use for you anymore. UPS wants you to leave. UPS wants the corporate profits to be even more record-breaking than they already are. UPS wants to shovel more money to its executives and to its shareholders. And UPS has no interest in honoring its Teamster contract. So much for loyalty, right? So here's what's happening now. And together, as one unified force, here's what we're going to do about it. As I said a few moments ago, UPS was not ready to roll out its DVSP program. They wanted to wait until later this month, but in light of our public disclosures and their attack, shaming UPS for its greed and cowardice, UPS is now trying to fast track this plan. Managers and their underlings are going to come into your bonds and ask you to sign up for this quote unquote voluntary severance plan. The first thing you should do is ignore them. But management, as we all know too well, is full of shit. And they're not just going to walk away. They're going to hound you. They're going to come back time and time again. They're going to tell you how this plan is totally voluntary. And if you sign up for it, you're doing in your own best interest. You want UPS to be a successful company, right? Well, as long as you play ball, you'll be doing your part to help UPS continue to succeed for generations to come. This is the line of garbage you can expect to hear. UPS is undercutting you. That's all we need to remember. UPS is trying to buy your job, plain and simple. They are trying to buy your job for a pittance in direct violation of our contract. And UPS has to understand, our members are not prostitutes. We cannot be bought, and we will not be bought by UPS. They either want fewer workers or they want to pay workers less for doing the job you currently perform. That's all this sham DVSP program comes down to. UPS is trying to inflate its bottom line, boost its profits, and ignore its legal obligation to you, to all of us, to the Teamsters. On behalf of your 1.3 million Teamster brothers and sisters nationwide, I urge you to ignore and reject. Again, I urge you to ignore and reject this DVSP program. We don't want cheap buyouts. We want UPS to honor our contract. We want managers to get off their backs and let us do our job. We are the best in the business. We know what we are doing. Our customers love UPS drivers. Get out of our way and pay us our worth. It's really that simple. But UPS doesn't care about simple. They want to complicate as much as they can, and they're willing to try and violate our contract at every turn. But we're not going to let them get away with it. We need to be protecting our jobs, and we need everybody, again, to reject this scam. All of our jobs need to be protected, both full-time and part-time. In Article 22, Section 3 of our National Master Agreement, UPS agreed that they would create at least 22,500 new full-time jobs for existing part-timers and create an additional 7,500 full-time jobs from existing part-time jobs. This is not dependent on volume or corporate mismanagement. This is black and white. It's in writing. It's guaranteed, and UPS must meet its obligation to the Teamsters Union. In addition to protecting our full-time jobs and not selling them to the lowest bidder, we need to enforce our contract to ensure UPS is meeting its obligation to our part-timers. One of the things I'm most proud of our team for doing during negotiations in 2023 was winning the fight to protect and reward part-time UPS Teamsters. We saw huge numbers of part-time Teamsters at UPS get as much as a 100% increase to the hourly earnings as a result of our historic contract. Now that's history. That's monumental. That's something we should all be enormously proud of. As Teamsters, it's not enough to simply be looking out for our own best interests. This is a brotherhood and a sisterhood. We've been here fighting for workers in America since 1903, nearly half the life of the United States itself. We've been here on the shop floor for the entire life of the United Parcel Service. We look out for ourselves, but also fight for the guys and girls working beside us. And we look out for the next woman coming in the door. And we preserve something rare and powerful for the next generation coming up. We're not going away. And together, we need to tell UPS we are not selling out. The first order of business is to tell UPS managers to take a hike. Ignore their requests and proposals around the DVSP program. Reject this plan. Say no to UPS's strategy and to Carol Tomei's greed. Second, and this is critically important for enforcing our contract, be prepared to file a grievance. Talk to your shop stewards, talk to your fellow Teamsters, talk to your union reps, and get prepared to file a grievance against UPS over their rollout of this DVSP program. Tell UPS, bring their issues to the bargaining table in 2028. Tell UPS to get off your back, Tell all those managers to stop hassling you and tell UPS you cannot be bought off. Fight for your job, protect the part-timers and full-timers. Stand in one united front with all UPS Teamsters nationwide to demand they honor our contract, and be ready and willing to file a grievance should you need to. If UPS wants to escalate things from here, well, bring it on. We will be ready. The Teamsters Union is here to fight for you and to protect you. That's exactly what we did in 2023 by coming together to win our historic contract. And now the fight to enforce it carries on. We can't forget that UPS is greedy. They are driven by profit. That's the only thing these managers and executives focus on. But as Teamsters, we're driven by something else, a little thing called dignity and accountability, and the respect that comes from sacrificing your labor, from putting in an honest, hard day's work, and expecting to be paid well for it. Don't give that up. Don't put your wages, your health care, or your future in jeopardy to help UPS buy back more shares of its own stock. Tell UPS to honor its commitment and actually create and fill those 22,500 jobs they said they would, because if they don't, this battle is only going to get bigger. And we never walk away from a fight as Teamsters. Remember, at the end of the day, we're all part of something so much bigger and more powerful than ourselves. And that power comes from being a Teamster. You can't put a price on that. Stay tuned for more updates on our social media channels and on the UPS app. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you taking on this fight with us. And remember, we cannot be bought. We will not sell our jobs. Thank you very much.